Listeners, have you ever felt a chill down your spine when alone in a familiar place? A sudden whisper of cold air against your skin that seems to have no earthly source? Have you ever questioned the whispers in the wind, the creaks of an old house, wondering if they share secrets only the night seems to know? What is it about ghost stories that so captivates us, that leads us to the edge of fear, and yet compels us to lean further in, to peer beyond the veil of the known? Do they serve merely to scare, to thrill, or do they reveal deeper truths about our history, our culture, and ourselves? My name is Alex, and you are listening to Stories Philippines podcast, where we delve into the rich tapestry of Filipino folklore, mysteries, and true crime, exploring the otherworldly and paranormal occurrences that have shaped our beliefs and traditions. Tonight we embark on a journey through the archipelago, a voyage into the heart of the Philippines, where the boundaries between the seen and unseen blur, where the past whispers to the present, and where the extraordinary emerges from the ordinary. Put on your bravest face, listeners, and join us as we delve into stories that will send shivers down your spine and ignite your imagination. Are you ready to step into the shadows? Our first story takes us to the secluded town of Sagada, nestled high in the Cordillera Mountains, a place renowned not only for its breathtaking natural beauty, but also for its rich cultural history. Imagine, listeners, a town shrouded in mist, where ancient burial practices see coffins hung on cliff faces, a tradition believed to bring the spirits closer to heaven. With such a backdrop, it's no wonder that Sagada is a breeding ground for tales of the supernatural, a place where the veil between the living and the dead seems to thin. Lila, a student at Mayan High School, a bright young woman with a skeptical mind, shared an experience that shook her to her core, an encounter that challenged her perception of reality. It was a typical late afternoon. The sun was setting, casting long, eerie shadows across the school's aged floors. Lila, needing a break from her studies, headed to the restroom to wash her hands. As she stood there, lost in thought, a sudden movement in the mirror caught her eye. There, reflected in the glass, stood a girl, clad in an old-fashioned school uniform, her presence as silent as it was chilling. Lila's heart skipped a beat, a wave of goosebumps erupting across her skin. She turned, expecting to see a friend, a classmate, perhaps even a prankster trying to give her a fright, but she found only emptiness. The restroom was deserted, the air thick with an unsettling stillness. This wasn't just a fleeting apparition. Listeners, it was a connection to a story deeply embedded in the school's lore. The girl in the mirror was a spirit, rumored to haunt the halls of Mayan High School, a tragic figure lost to time and circumstance, her story echoing through the generations, as much a part of the school as its weathered walls and time-worn desks. Sagada, with its somber cliffs, its misty mornings, and its ancient traditions, makes it easy to believe that souls linger here, that the past is not truly gone, but merely hidden, waiting to share its stories with those willing to see. Lila's encounter with the silent specter is a chilling reminder of the enduring presence of the past, a whisper from beyond the veil that speaks of lives once lived and losses that echo through time. Insightfully, this story serves as a reminder of the past's enduring presence in our lives. Much like the spirits that are said to inhabit ancestral lands, ghost stories provide a narrative connection to our history, to the people who came before us, to the events that shaped our nation. They whisper warnings, share lessons, and offer us glimpses of lives once lived, reminding us that we are all part of a larger story, a continuum that stretches back through the generations. As modern Filipinos navigate the complexities of today's world, these tales are more than mere sources of fright. They are cultural touchstones, threads that connect us to our heritage, urging us to remember and respect what came before. They remind us that the past is not something to be feared, but rather something to be understood, to be learned from, to be honored. Don't forget, listeners, you can support Stories Philippines podcast by checking out the links in the show notes. Your support helps us to continue bringing you these fascinating tales from across the archipelago. And if you enjoy the podcast, please don't forget to follow us on your favorite platform and leave a review. It really helps us to reach more listeners and share these captivating stories with the world. Now, let us journey from the misty mountains of Sagada to the bustling heart of the Philippines, where our next story awaits. From the serene heights of Sagada, we descend into the vibrant chaos of Manila, the bustling heart of the Philippines, where history and modernity collide in a symphony of sights, sounds, and stories. The Quezon Bridge, an architectural marvel spanning the historic Pasig River, carries with it a wealth of stories, some of which defy explanation, tales that whisper of the city's past and the spirits that linger within its shadows. Listener Miguel, a man who enjoys his evening strolls along the Pasig River, shared a tale as haunting as it was inexplicable, an encounter that left him questioning the nature of reality itself. One evening, as he strolled beneath the soft glow of the city lights, enjoying the cool breeze and the rhythmic flow of the river, he noticed a figure hovering near the bridge's edge, an ethereal woman, suspended in midair, as if gravity had no hold on her. Her long, dark hair drifted around her, as if caressed by a ghostly breeze, and her eyes, though closed, seemed to hold the weight of untold stories, of a life lived and lost, of a past that refused to be forgotten. Miguel, frozen in place, watched in awe and trepidation as the woman floated effortlessly above the water, her form shimmering like moonlight on the river's surface. Manila's bridges, listeners, are not only vital infrastructure, connecting the city's various districts and facilitating the flow of lifeblood through its veins, they are also silent witnesses to the city's tumultuous past. From the Spanish colonial era to the Japanese occupation during World War II, they have borne witness to countless joys and sorrows, triumphs and tragedies. Quezon Bridge, in particular, is no stranger to historical events. It spans echoing with the whispers of those who may have sought solace or met their untimely end within its shadows. As Miguel recounted his encounter with the floating woman, it became clear that he, much like the spectral figure he had witnessed, was caught in a moment outside of time, a liminal space where the boundaries between the real and the unreal dissolved. Her presence, both serene and sorrowful, spoke not only of personal tragedy but also of collective memory, of the countless lives that have been touched by the bridge and the river it spans. Could this woman be a remnant of those tumultuous times, a spirit clinging to the bridge as a link to the world she once knew? Or is she a manifestation of the city's collective grief? A symbol of the countless souls lost to war, disaster, and the relentless passage of time. In a city as dynamic as Manila, where the past is often overshadowed by the relentless pace of the present, such encounters remind us of the layers of history that shape our everyday landscape, of the unseen forces that continue to influence our lives. Listeners, have you ever encountered a place that seems to hold the weight of history, a place where the past lingers, refusing to be forgotten? Perhaps an old building, a bridge, a street corner, a place that seems to whisper stories of those who came before. We'd love to hear your experiences. You can share your stories with us by emailing us at storiesphpodcast@gmail.com or by sending us a message on social media. And now, let us leave the bustling streets of Manila behind and venture into the verdant countryside of Pangasinan, where our next story awaits. Our journey now takes us to Pangasinan, a province known for its rich agricultural lands, its vibrant culture, and its deep-rooted traditions. Yet, for Rosa and her family, Pangasinan is also a place of enigmatic spirits, of unseen forces that defy the logic of the living, a place where the past refuses to remain silent. Their home, an ancestral treasure passed down through generations, vibrated with the echoes of lives lived, of laughter and tears, of joys and sorrows. But it also vibrated with something else, something unexplainable, something that whispered in the shadows and chilled the air with its presence. In Filipino culture, listeners, ancestral homes are more than just physical structures. They are repositories of family history and memory, living testaments to the enduring bonds of kinship. Rosa's house in particular was one such place, a home that had witnessed generations of joy and sorrow, a place where the past and the present seemed to coexist in a delicate balance. As the family settled into their new home, they became acutely aware of another presence, a subtle yet undeniable force that followed them in whispers, creaks, and bursts of cold air. The house, once a source of comfort and familiarity, now seemed to harbor secrets, its walls whispering tales of lives long gone, its rooms echoing with the footsteps of unseen visitors. Rosa, a woman of strong faith, was not one to dismiss these experiences as mere coincidences. She believed that her home was a portal to another realm, a bridge between the living and the dead, where the spirits of the past sought to communicate with the present. To understand the nature of these ghostly visitors, Rosa sought the help of a Mangi Hilat, a traditional healer whose practice balances the corporeal and the spiritual. The Mangi Hilat, a wise old woman with piercing eyes and a gentle voice, performed a series of rituals using sacred oils and items that carried personal significance, a family photo, an heirloom, all placed in a treasure box meant to serve as a peace offering to the spirits. The ritual was a complex affair, a blend of ancient incantations and modern healing techniques, designed to appease the restless souls and restore harmony to the house. Just as the stories of Spanish conquest or the resilience during the devastating 1990 earthquake have become part of Pangasinan's narrative, Rosa's experience with her home has become a personal history entwined with the supernatural. The ritual brought a tenuous peace, the whispers and creaks subsiding, but the healer's sudden illness and death left Rosa's family questioning the continuance of past ties to the present. This story, listeners, highlights the ongoing dance between belief and skepticism, tradition and modernity. It illustrates how, in trying to coexist with the otherworldly, one can discover a narrative that enriches the understanding of both self and community history. The haunting whispers in Rosa's home are not just a source of fear, they are a reminder of the past's enduring presence, a testament to the interconnectedness of all things, a bridge between the known and the unknown. Next, we journey to Sibiu, the Queen City of the South, a vibrant metropolis with a rich history that stretches back centuries. Here, in the heart of the city, we encounter a tale of a different kind, a story that blurs the line between waking life and dream time. Sibiu, known for its vibrant festivals, its delicious cuisine, and its warm and welcoming people, is also a place where the supernatural seems to make its presence felt. Jamie, a young man from Sibiu shared a chilling experience that would forever alter his perception of the world. Jamie, like many children, feared the dark, but what awaited him in the shadows of his bedroom was beyond mere childhood fright. Each night, as he lay in his bed, he was visited by whispers, soft, insistent, barely audible, yet undeniably present. These whispers, though wordless to his ears, spoke to his soul, intertwining with his growing understanding of the world. Sibiu, with its history of syncretism, a fusion of indigenous beliefs and colonial influences, seems to be a fertile ground for the supernatural. The whispers that Jamie heard could be interpreted as ancestral spirits, bearers of Sibiu's collective history, reaching out to bridge past and present. His family, steeped in traditional practices, sought the counsel of a Babaylan, a shaman, whose role is to mediate between worlds. The Babaylan interpreted the whispers as ancestral voices, perhaps seeking solace or imparting wisdom. They instructed Jamie to listen, to open his heart without fear, to embrace the presence of these unseen visitors. This marked a turning point for Jamie. From being a source of fear, the whispers became a source of comfort, a connection to his ancestors and to the rich heritage of his homeland. He learned to listen to their stories, to understand their messages, and to appreciate the wisdom they shared. Jamie's story, listeners, is a testament to the idea that spiritual encounters, though fearsome, can offer profound insights and lessen the isolation so often felt in the modern world. It reminds us that the past is not something to be feared, but rather something to be embraced, a source of guidance and inspiration. Our final stop on this journey through the Philippines takes us to Iloilo, a province known for its historical significance, its vibrant festivals, and its delicious cuisine. Here, in the heart of the city, we encounter a tale of a different kind, a story that blurs the line between the living and the dead. Iloilo, like many other parts of the Philippines, is a place where the past and the present coexist in a delicate balance. It is a city that has witnessed centuries of history, from its role in the Spanish colonial trade routes to its significant contributions during the Philippine Revolution. And it is a city where the supernatural seems to make its presence felt, where the veil between the living and the dead is thin. Clara, a young medical intern at a local clinic in Iloilo, was used to the clinical environment a place of healing and hope. Yet, during the quiet hours of the night, she found herself visited by a spectral figure, a woman who appeared at the foot of her bed. Her presence was silent yet commanding, as if she had stories waiting to be told, secrets of the clinic perhaps woven with its own history. Iloilo, much like Manila and Sagada, carries the weight of its past, from its role in the Spanish colonial trade routes to its significant contributions during the Philippine Revolution. The spirits that Clara encountered could be echoes of those turbulent times, individuals bound to the place by unfinished stories or unresolved emotions. Rather than succumbing to fear, Clara approached the spirit with inquisitiveness rather than dread, eager to learn whether the figure was a guardian or a soul in need of assistance. This openness led her to new insights, not only about the clinic's history but also about the thin veil between the corporeal and the ethereal. Through her story, we see that the past is always present, woven into the fabric of the places we inhabit. The encounters Clara experienced serve as reminders of the interconnectedness of all things, urging us to remain open to the lessons that the unknown can teach. Listeners, as we draw this episode to a close, let's reflect on what these stories reveal. They are not mere accounts of the supernatural, they are cultural narratives, shared experiences that connect us to our history, our ancestors, and each other. In the Philippines, ghost stories are more than frightful tales, they are a bridge between worlds, offering wisdom if we dare to listen. We invite you to ponder the mysteries in your own lives. Have you had an experience that defies explanation? A moment that connects you to a deeper understanding of the world? We would love to hear your stories. Sharing them not only preserves these narratives, but enriches our community here at Stories Philippines podcast. Support is crucial for us to continue bringing these tales to life, providing a platform for voices eager to be heard. If you enjoy what we do and wish to contribute, check the show notes for links on how you can support us financially. Your support ensures that we can keep exploring the unseen corners of our world, one story at a time. Keep that spark of curiosity alive, listeners. Look over your shoulder, explore the whispers of the night, and never stop questioning what lies beyond the ordinary. Until next time, remain courageous and open-hearted. We can't wait to delve into more tales with you in future episodes.